Hi, I'm Rob the Realtor, and this is the third quarter 2022 market update. Today we're going to be talking about the mortgage rates, we're going to be talking about the number of homes that are selling, and where I think the market is going in 2023 and even into 2024. So stay tuned. Now to talk about the trends in real estate nationwide and in the West Coast. Some pretty alarming things. As everybody now knows, the cost of living has gone up dramatically. We are now paying more for gas, for food, and other living expenses like housing. So here's what's happening in the nation right now. Inflation is still up around 8% year over year. It seems to be maybe leveling off with the interest rates going up, but it's still costing the average person 8% more per year. And if you go to the grocery store, you can make an argument it's much higher than that. Mortgage rates this year are hovering around 7%, and the trend seems to be going up. And that's a 4% difference from just a year ago. Now, to show you how that affects a home buyer, their house payment has gone up 55% from a year ago just because the interest rates are now 4% higher on average. So whereas a year ago, if you got a $300,000 loan at 3%, your payment's around $1,265. Now at 7% interest, it's closer to $2,000 a month. And that's pricing out a large number of people, especially in that entry level or first-time home buyer market. Now, if people can't buy or they can't afford to buy, that naturally has to drive down the price of homes. And that's what I think we're seeing now, and we're going to continue to see through 2023. Big change is the number of homes that have sold. It's down, nationwide it's down 10% just from a month ago, August to September, and 31% year over year, September this year versus September last year. Now that's nationwide. Now if you look at the West Coast, California, Nevada, Oregon, Washington, Arizona, the West Coast of the United States, home sales are down 38.4%. That is huge. Now a big contributing factor again is the interest rates, the mortgage rates. Home buyers can no longer afford to buy, or they can afford less, so there's less homes available to them. When I advise my seller clients, oftentimes they'll say, well, maybe we'll wait to sell our home because we can get a little bit more money if we wait 3 to 6 months or a year. And usually they're not really considering the current interest rate because the rate they have on their existing mortgage is comparable to the one that they would have when they go and buy a replacement property. But now that's really not the case because rates are, like I said, 4% higher than they were a year ago. So maybe they have a 3% rate on their existing mortgage, and they could sell and then buy another home that's either the same, lower, more, but their payment is going to be so much higher, so that's really contributing to them maybe deciding if they don't have to sell to not sell right now and wait for rates to level off or even come down. So that is contributing to much lower inventory levels and that many fewer homes that existing buyers have to choose from. I really think that once rates stabilize or even drop, that's when there's going to be a much larger inventory on the market, which then usually when you have higher supply, same or lower demand, the prices are going to come down. So affordability and inventory levels are going to contribute mostly to what home prices are going to be. In my opinion, we're going to see inflation maybe moderate in 2023, maybe come down a little bit, but it's still not going to get down to the Fed's 2% price target. The big maybe or what if is when or if is the Fed going to pivot? When have they caused enough pain with the real estate market, with the stock market, before they go ahead and change their stance and start lowering interest rates again, which then will start to drive prices back up once mortgage rates get more affordable. I think in 2023, home prices are going to continue to drop, and maybe even into 2024, again, depending on what the Fed does. We don't really have a true market because a lot of it is determined by what the Federal Reserve does with interest rates. The lower the rates, higher the asset prices are. Higher the interest rates, the lower the asset prices are. I think we're in store for quite a bit of pain coming forward with lower stock prices, lower real estate prices in 2023 and possibly 2024. So now let's look at a more local look at Lake County and then the submarkets of Kelseyville and Lakeport, because real estate is always local. Okay, so here we are getting more local with our market statistics. Looking at month to month, July, August, September, and now that October's ended, I threw in October's figures as well. But third quarter is July, August, and September, so that's what's going to be in this lower level here. So starting off with Lake County, we had a big dip in September with the median home price. That was 74 home sales that contributed to a median home price of $260 versus $280 the month before. And that's reflected too in the third quarter. I think that dragged down the median home price for Lake County, but this is a big sample size for the third quarter. 224 home sales contributed to the 272,000 median home price in the third quarter of this year. And then the really low 260 was also 74 home sales. So that could just be people buying in the lower price point, but it is a big change from a month ago and a quarter ago. In Lake County, you can see quarter over quarter a drop of 13.5% in the median home price in Lake County, and versus a year ago, third quarter versus third quarter, down 12.7%. So we're seeing some price declines for sure. In Lakeport, we actually had a little bit of a spike, but we had a big boost. There was only 6 sales in September. That number was actually lower, and then it came up again with 8 sales at 368. So it's hard with a small sample size like that to really put too much credence on it. I like to look at the quarterly numbers as well as the Lake County numbers, because those are a much bigger sample size. The biggest thing I think to look at is the number of homes that have sold is down 25% year over year. That's a big number. So 1/4 fewer home sales, largely due, in my opinion, to home buyers being priced out of the market because of higher interest rates, but also home sellers that don't want to sell and then buy at the same price point but with a much higher interest rate. So they don't want to give up those lower interest rates, and so you have fewer willing sellers. So I think if people don't have to sell, they might just hold tight until the rates maybe come down. They can get maybe a higher price, and then when they go ahead and buy again, they'll be buying at a lower interest rate. So that's it for the Lake County market statistics. Stay tuned. I'll be back soon with November and December, and then once the fourth quarter wraps up, we'll see how the fourth quarter compares to the third quarter, and we'll see over the whole year of 2022 how that compared to 2021. Because this year in 2022 we're still higher price-wise versus a year ago, but month over month the prices are starting to come down. So I think we're going to see that trend continue, and I also think that eventually we'll see the number of homes, the number of listings increase once those rates stabilize and start to come down again. But while the rates stay high, I think we're going to see a pretty contracted market.